Good morning, good morning. Welcome to another beautiful stream here today on the East Coast. Looks like GPGPY is continuing bearish here today, this morning. The 30-minute candles closed at this area. Let me just redefine this area over here. It closed here. The 15-minute candle closed below, took an entry, stops at like 132,800. So should continue going bearish. Let me just fix these little issues here. Should continue going bearish. Oh. So if you look on the 4 hour, the 4 hour is looking bearish. There's a very high chance price may tap into 132,450, 132,400. So we're gonna wait and see what happens there. But looks like this 1 hour basically was a retest of this broken support, 132,750. And you know the 15 minutes currently heading bearish here, so we should come down to the bottom of these lows around 132,550, and then eventually break below. So it should be a pretty good trade. Some people are in the same entries here, so I think it's pretty good. Let's see what happens here. We all want to know why you took off back to basics. No, Sammy, only you want to know. No one else wants to know. So it was my webinar anyway. We're gonna focus on this trade right over here, which we are in. So hopefully we could get something early in the morning. We got a chart coming in. First chart of the morning. We have GPGPY on a big wide screen. Sells under this area here. Yep, this makes sense. This makes sense. I've basically broken down this area here into the small time frames over here. So that's what I've taken the sell based off of. Like this 15-minute candle. Basically what happened was that we had this support, and this kind of went back up in the range. This closed below the range, so it made sense because previously price made a low at 132,550. So whenever price breaks below support, it's like it's creating a low, you know. And when you see a resistance forming, there's a very high chance price is gonna now come back to that low. Like there's a very high chance price is gonna come back down to that low. So you know, that's what I'm basing this trade off of. Made a resistance, and then you know there's a high chance it could continue down to retest this low right over here. And if you look on 30 minutes, the 30-minute is about to close. The 30-minute is about to close bearish, which makes sense because if this closes bearish, the next 30-minute we can expect to continue moving bearish. So I'm gonna probably hold my trade for that. Let's see what happens here. Did you take the trade, Raja? Wow. First thing in the morning, right? Same setup we always day. Yep, day after day. Day after day, it's the same setup. Same things happen over and over again. So, you know, this should continue moving bearish. I mean, let's take a look at the daily. Daily has also gone bearish. Daily hasn't really retraced a lot. It gapped over there. I mean, we were expecting if price was to close back above 132,800, you could see a move going up towards 133, you know, 160, 133, 100. But since the lower time frames were turning, so I said, well, you know, it just makes sense. Like they're turning bearish, so there's a very high chance it should continue going bearish. So probably gonna stick to this now. I took the wick fill to the left. Oh, nice. Yep, sticking to 1 or 2 trades a day, man, it's amazing. It's the best thing that you can do towards your trading. Just sticking to 1 or 2 trades and just call it a day after that. So this is going to be my one and only trade for today, since it's a Monday, and on Mondays you don't want to go too hard. You know, you want to stay very disciplined. So as we start coming down, you can see here. Oh, oh, can't show. The room is taking over my phone. Yeah, so should should continue down a little bit more. Should be a good one. You really fixed my way of thinking. Oh, nice. Very nice. Would you move your stop loss straight away when you're in profits? No, I mean, if you're talking about if I move my stop straight away and stuff like that, I mean, you can see whatever I do over here. I'm basically holding this trade. If it comes back to my entry point, I'm going to close 50%, you know, but other than that, I think it's going to continue moving bearish and we're going to stick with that. What happened to gold? Gold actually went bullish and then came down. Damn. Tapped into that area there. Tapped into that resistance at 1710 and rejected it. Let's take a look at the 30 minute. 30 minutes bearish. That's perfect. 30 minutes about to close in 2 minutes. The next 30 minutes, it shouldn't break the high of the previous 30 minutes and continue moving bearish. That's kind of like what I'm looking at. Oh, Frank, I can't see this chart. You have to post it in the chat. I can't open it if you post it in questions. Maybe I can. Oh no, I can't. Can you look at oil? I want to see what your expert eyes see. My expert eyes, I'm not an expert on oil, so I have no idea what oil is up to. I only know what VJPY is up to. What's this? GPCAD, 30-minute candle breakdown, enter at 1 point. Oh, nice. It's actually very nice. Actually, you can have a very, very good opportunity to come down to 1.74800. Beautiful. Alright, what's this? Ready and triggered. Oh, someone is already in cells over here. Let's take a look. See. GJ, 15 minute, got in cell. Nice. This is kind of like my cell I have right now. Beautiful. So probably gonna wait. And then take profit around. I'm probably gonna move my stops at break even around 132,600. So I'm gonna take some profits and then I'm gonna let the rest run. Let's say the price comes back to your entry, would you close 50% or would you wait for the 1 hour close? Yeah, I'm gonna close 50%. If price comes back to my entry, I'm gonna close 50%. Because at that point there would be a chance that the 15-minute candle is gonna go above the high of the previous one. So if it does comes to my stop loss, I want to lose half of what I intend to lose right now, you know. So that's what I'm going to focus on today. Just going to answer some of my fans here on Instagram, and while I answer my fans, we're going to monitor GJ. Oh, there we go. 30-minute candle closed bearish. 15-minute candle closed bearish. There's a very high chance for this 30-minute candle to continue going bearish. Looking on the 1 hour should come down to fill this wick here as well. So that's going to be our target. Should be good. We're coming down, straight to the eye. I have my TP. My partial take profit is at 132.594. So once it comes down over there, it's going to activate it, and then it's going to close my position, and then it's going to leave a runner running. So can a wick fill happen if there are two different candles? Yes. Yes, because if the lower time frame candles, because here's the thing. If you see this 1 hour candle, there's a very high chance this 1 hour candle can come down to fill this wick, But for the 1 hour candle to come down to fill this wick, it needs support from the smaller time frame candles, which is the 30-minute. See, this previous 30-minute closed bearish. This has to now continue moving down to this area. The 15-minute also closed bearish. They're making lower highs and lower lows, so this also has to come down to this area there. So once the smaller time frames start going bearish overall, then it flips the higher time frame bearish too, right? So, I mean, no matter what the high time frame candles say, the lower time frame candles are the ones where a move is going to start happening. So you need to focus on the lower time frame candles. And if price does retracements, I mean, don't be afraid of retracements. The only reason you should be afraid of retracements is if you remove your stop loss, or if you're over risked, or if you're over leveraged, basically. That's the only reason you should be afraid of retracements. What about GBP-CHF? I think you need to post a chart about GBP-CHF. That's going to be much better. Let's take a look at this chart here. Price broke through support, made a low. This area could now act as resistance. So if I start to see rejections on the 1 hour and 30-minute, I will take an entry. Yeah, it looks good. On the 4 hour, yeah, it looks good. You see rejections on small time frames, could mean it could continue down. It's the bank holiday. Are you not worried about volatility? What I'm mostly worried about is the fact that you don't understand how market sessions work, whoever asked that question. I mean, if it's the Japanese holiday, when Asian is open, right? When Asian is open and there's Japanese holiday, then Japan is closed, right? So if you're in New York, Japan is still closed. So it doesn't make any difference at all. So you just got to use some logic on that question there. I hope I answered that question. Hello, my dude, stopping by to say hello. Oh, thank you, thank you. Let's say you trade hitting your way and break 132,500. You add position using double trade, or you enter manually. I'm probably gonna not enter at 132,500 because then it's already falling. If I wanted a second entry, I can't get a second entry right now. Because the stop is going to be too big. So not right now. I mean, if this 30-minute candle was smaller, then I would have had a second entry because then my stop would have been like 10 pips. Like 10 pips, 12 pips. So then it would have been smaller. So since it's a pretty big candle, I'm not comfortable doing that right now. What's this? Looking for sell if it breaks 1.24200. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense, I think. I think if you go through a low time frame, you can still see some signs there on the 15-minute, because this 30-minute kind of looks like the 30-minute here on GJ, right over here. So on the small time frames, it makes sense for it to continue moving. If you hold the trade during different sessions, if I hold the trade during different sessions, I have my stops at break even, and I'm not looking at the trade. What's this? USD CAD. If we break this high, I might consider taking buys. Yeah, it makes sense if we break this support. Yeah, I think sells would be much safer because you have a clean, like a very cleaner candle there to the left hand side. So that should work very well. Let's take a look here. Selling after a breakout. TP1, TP2. Yeah, I think you're missing some zones. Let's see here. Like maybe this area here would be some sort of importance. I think you'll be able to see more information. Well, more simplicity. You'll be able to see more simplicity at this point if you looked at the, let's say, the 1 hour chart. Or, yeah, the 1 hour chart would be much better at that point. Oh, good morning, good morning, good morning. Had a pretty good weekend. What's this? Took an entry at the bottom of this candle. Pretty good. I think you can bring up your stop loss a little bit, maybe in the middle of this range or something. Have you ever tried swing trading? No, it doesn't really fit my plan. My plan is to take a trade and then call it and then leave a runner running. And if my runner keeps on running, man, that's perfect. If my runner keeps on running, that's awesome. I'm gonna leave it at that. But like let's say if this price comes down to 550, so I'm gonna secure positions at like 590, and then I'm gonna leave a runner running. So if it keeps on running, that's awesome. If it gets stopped out at break even, then it is what it is.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, good morning. How are you?
Very well, mate. Very well, thank you. Nice trade.
Yeah, it should, like in the last 15 minutes of this hour, it should continue moving down.
hmm
Right, what's this? AUD USD bias 1 hour 15-minute bearish resistance is rejected. What do you think? I think it's ranging. It's a very small range you have. Extremely small range. You have a minor support over here, your support here. I think better sell would be below this yellow zone you have. But I wouldn't take a trade here. Let's put it that way. Would you not move your stops at BE at this point? Well, not really. I mean, it depends on my risk, right? It depends on how I'm feeling, how I see things. Like risk is very personal. It's like saying, oh, if you're driving a car, would you slow down before taking a turn, or would you slow down as you're taking the turn? It depends. If there's a person in the way crossing the road, I might slow down before taking the turn. If there's no person crossing the road, I might not slow down at all. So it depends on a lot of things. Like if you're in the same trade, you want to move your stops to break even, go ahead. But I already told you guys what I'm gonna do, so I'm gonna stick to that. Ooh, someone got sell stops. Oh, wrong chart. Let's take a look here. GJ 30 minutes. Sells on break and close below gray zone. Yep, that makes sense too. See, I'm grabbing that move there, that really small thing you see over there in the chart. If you zoom in, that small thing right there. Man, I was watching this video about this Asian guy, and he's like, "Oh, why do people make fun of Asian guys because our, like eyes are so small?" He's like, when you have to focus, what do? You squint your eyes, right? You squint your eyes to focus. We're always focusing. Like no one looks at stuff like this. No one focuses like this. Any video on how to close percentage of the trade? Yes. You go to modified trade and then you close. I heard a trader saying that the swing trade is where the money is. Well, I heard Raja Bank say that scalping is where the money is. So where's the money?
I heard that too.
Show me the money. Man.
Is this the only trade you've took today? Have you been in any more? Did you do Asian or anything?
No,
No.
this is the first trade for this week here.
Okay, man. Cool.
Yeah. At first I wanted to take buys, but then I got busy with magic keys, and then I saw candles flip bearish. I'm like, oh, this makes perfect sense now.
Yeah, there's a few good options this morning.
Yeah, I see London session went
Yeah,
up.
that jump up was just out of nowhere. But I was waiting for we took sell stops earlier on this candle, which was a pretty good option. But then we had to wait for the 4-hour candle to open, which is that. Oh, my bad.
Oh no, it's okay.
Moved it, and that's all.
Gotta get it for the highlights,
That's it. That's it. For the ground.
For the ground. Oh, yeah, that's right there. All right, perfect. We're coming into the 10 pips domain over here. I'm securing positions at this point, and I'm bringing stops to break even right here.
Nicely done.
Yep. Beautiful. Now it should continue down. Yeah, 30 minutes should continue down. 1 hour should come down to fill this wick as well in the next 15 minutes.
Previous 4-hour was a good 4-hour. Had a big grab.
Oh yeah.
I think we've got a lot further. If we can get past 500 level, I think we've got some good potential to go a lot further. But there's a lot of dangerous levels now. We're at the bottom of that silly 4-hour range again.
Yeah, I was mostly thinking it should come down to 132, 400.
Yeah, I got 387. Yeah. So yeah, but
yeah. Yeah, you're way more precise.
Yeah, man, that's what lines are for, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's going to be somewhere similar to that area, right? I've actually got a zone between 400 and 387-ish, so it should be somewhere similar. This 500 level has been pretty tough.
Thanks for the trade. I was in it much earlier, but it was nice to have you validate my analysis. Oh, nice. No, man, just trust your analysis. Just have to trust your analysis because here's the thing. If this trade would have hit my stop loss, then I would have said, okay, you know what, whatever. But this is the setup that I will take every day. If this shows up every day, I'll take it every day. You know, I mean, because this is a very, very high probability setup. This is the money making setup right here. You know, so even if it goes against you, I count that as okay. Well, you know, there was that 20% chance it didn't work out. Oh well, whatever. You know, then there will be 10 times it's going to show up, and then 10 times I'm going to execute and win on this specific setup. And I mean, this isn't like a break and retest. This isn't like some magical setup. It's just very logical. You know, like price came down, broke the support, created a low, price created a resistance here, and then you're like, okay, well, now it has to continue down to retest the low, right? I mean, that's it. People call it like break retest, stuff like that, but this is just understanding how candles are forming. You know, it's just that.
So we had a similar thing early on with that big move up in London, and I didn't take it because the 15-minute candle was huge. But it's very similar to this. You see that one there? I mean, that to get back down to this level was a bit, I don't know.
Oh yeah.
You see how it kind of broke below, similar to this 15-minute candle.
Yeah.
Doing the same thing. I considered it, but it's Monday, man. It's a bit too much, I think.
That's true too.
But the anticipation of the 4-hour open was good. We kind of was expecting a push on a 4-hour open, which was the where was it? Yeah, the one after it broke support, basically. Just there, that one.
Oh, this one.
Yeah, the one just below it to the right.
Yeah. This
so
was a start the new 4-hour here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So kind of as soon as it did that a few times last week, again. As soon as it opened, it kind of pushed the direction. If it had already broke support or resistance, it pushed that same direction on that open and was pretty solid, which was nice.
Okay, what's this? I'm in a sell from 750, but I was closing because I see the 1-hour bull candle. How can you manage that idea and not trust the 1-hour bull candle? Well, it hit TP right here. Whoop, 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 whoop. Winning. Yeah, I mean, this 1-hour, I've seen this 1-hour candle a lot, you know, and what I've seen after this 1-hour candle happens, there's a high chance that the next candle goes the opposite way. Now, the only way this 1-hour candle is going the opposite, like if you're only looking at the 1-hour chart, it's very hard to tell if it's going to go down or not, right? So that's why you look at the smaller time frame. So if you break down the 15-minute candles, what you're going to see is that this was the close of the 1-hour candle, and then this was the start of the new 1-hour candle, right? So if the start of the new 1-hour candle formed bearish on the 15-minute, and then you look at it like, look left, you're like, okay, well, you know, it was support, it's closing below that support, now turning into resistance, and then you look at the market structure, you're like, okay, well, maybe we made a low, then there's a high chance the smaller time frames can continue down here. Then at that point, it doesn't matter what the high time frame says, because the smaller time frame makes up the overall high time frame. You get me, mate? So this basically, I mean, it just takes some experience too, you know. I mean, you had great entries at 0.750. That's amazing.
Roger, and what people fail to understand, like how you talked about break and retest, you know how that bullish candle went ahead and closed back into that area. So some people will start counter trending like, oh, it closed back in the zone, so it's gonna go up and they'll take buys. Like how you woke up this morning, you said you were looking for buys, but overall you're going against the overall trend of the market. No matter what, like if you follow the trend of the market, you can't go wrong in your trades. Like there's no buys looking at that chart. So the market just made a minor pullback, and it knows that when that candle closed bullish, that a lot of buyers are going to start trying to take entries. It's like, oh, it closed back in the range, so they're going to take entries. So for long as you guys look at the trend of the overall market and find your buyers based off that, like you be good.
Yeah, 1 hour should come down now to fill this look. All right, what's this chart here? Curtis. Oh, nice. Kind of like the same entry on GJ. Yeah, it should continue down. Price in a downtrend created a low. Price came up to make a low. Entered, securing. Yeah, beautiful. And as you can see, it has exceeded the TP over here, and 30-minute has also gone bearish and is continuing bearish.
Yeah, man.
Wow. Can't believe it. First trade in the morning.
You got on at the right time, man.
Yeah.
Any later, you would have missed that trade. Yeah, I missed that trade.
Yeah, if I would have missed this candle, then I wouldn't have entered, because then I would have said, well, this range is not enough. But I got in right here. That's why I started the stream early too, because I got in. I'm like, oh shit, have to show everybody. So I started the stream. All right, let's take a look here. Can you look at this chart? All right, let's take a look. Looking for sell if candle closed below for safer entry. Yeah, that makes sense. I think with momentum it should continue down. Break this low here now. If you look left, yeah, it should continue down. I think this will be one of those Mondays where GJ starts just trending bearish, but don't quote me on that. Because now, if you're still in GJ sells, it's time to secure profits. I closed earlier, but now we're reaching the support area. So this is the point where you need to put stops at break even, secure some profits, let a runner run if you want to leave a runner run. I have no runners running at this point. So I think that's going to be a good idea.
It's nearly identical to the move earlier that we took in London. Got the same areas, same levels.
Yeah.
Work well. Although this being the second attempt in that zone, if you've got a bit more legs, you might break it this time.
Talk another trade. Let's see. Someone said to call another trade. Let's see. What do you think? We're playing poker?
Let's have a guess. What else can we play with?
All right. Yeah, we're gonna wait and see for another setup. Can we see another big rejection at 132, 131, 900? Or this time you'll definitely leave the zone down? Yeah, I mean, the 4 hour is very well continuing down. I mean, this whole range, this is an entire range. This is a liquidity area where 4 hour can come down to. You know, we were talking about on the simulation we did on Saturday, we talked about liquidity zones. So now this is where it can potentially come down to. But at the same time, if you're looking on the 1 hour, you see 1 hour is about to fill this wick. Now, a wick fill on a higher time frame are supports or resistances on a smaller time frame. So once it's reaching this support area, you're securing positions because we're unsure if it's really going to come into this. So this is the thing. If it comes into this liquidity zone, we don't know how deep it's going to come into. So that's why you have a runner running, because if it comes down to 132,450, you're like, oh, perfect. If your runner goes down to 132,400, you're like, oh, perfect. If it goes to 132,350, you're like, perfect. But it's very hard to tell which area is it going to come into and tap, because that area is the whole thing.
Yeah, I missed that. Were you just talking about 4 hour then? I missed that. I wasn't looking.
Yeah, 4 hour zone like that.
I was going to say, yeah, there's
that
a huge
whole area. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anywhere in there, basically.
Should we be posting charts in QA or Zoom chat? Zoom chat. Ooh, GPCAD is also running nice. Downtrend, clean traffic, price should retest the low created as 30-minute R close bearish. Yep, looks good. Should come down here. This is perfect. It's broken the lows here. There's a clean candle here to the left. It should continue down. What broker you use and why? I use Vantage FX. I have no IB with Vantage FX. Yeah, so you can just go to Vantage FX and you can register. I have no IB with Vantage FX. My friends work with Black Bull Markets. They're from New Zealand. It's a pretty good broker. So you can. I have an IB with Black Bull Market. So if you click that link, I'll get like an IB. And then Traders Domain. I have Bitcoin in Traders Domain. And I don't have any IB with Traders Domain either. So the only IB I have is Blackwell Markets. So there you go. Ooh, US 30. Let's take a look here. Stops above the previous candle, waiting for candle to close bearish to take sells. Yeah, looks good. If you're waiting for this 30-minute to close bearish to take sells, this would look good. Actually, I'm going to keep an eye on this too because I'm backtesting US 30. Where's it? Let's bring it up over here. Because I want to see if US 30 really respects price action like like GJ and all the other pairs. Go. Yeah, see, it's closing very weak candle. It's closing very weak candle. So a better, I think. So I'm gonna paper trade this now. I'm gonna paper trade it. If the next 30-minute candle breaks the low of the previous candle right over here, then in my mind I'm gonna take a sell, keeping the stop above this candle that would be forming. And then I'd anticipate price to continue down to this low right over here. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. take a look here. Ooh, almost filled the wick. Well, I'll take that as a wick fill.
Close enough, man.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna do it right now.
Yeah, it's gonna this 1 hour should continue moving bearish.
Mm-hmm. It's just with GJ, how far will it pull? If it pulls back, that's the only thing.
Or how far will you drop?
Will it go?
Yeah. Let's take a look here. Looking for sells if candle 30-minute close below 132,500. Yep, looks good. I think one good a very, very good practice to really look at candles is to zoom in like this. If you're zoomed in like this, you'll be able to see candles much clearly. You'll be able to see like a lot more information. But if you're like kind of looking at like this from very like like from far away, I mean, you're gonna miss out on some really, really nice entries. You're gonna miss out on some moves because take a look at this, right? This is where the 15-minute candle closed around 132,700. So from 132,700 down to 132,538, that's like almost 17 pips, like 16 pips. So that could have been your profit, keeping stops at break even now. Hey, then you'd be like, okay, well, perfect, we're laughing now. Stops are at break even, then it should continue down, and we can have a nice trade, right? But when you're looking at charts like this, let's take a look on, like this. Man, it just gets really hard.
Right? Yeah, it makes it complex.
Yeah. So you really need to be a surgeon. Like really go in.
Dissect it, man.
Dissect it, candle by candle.
You're still going to use your high time frame levels, right? So you're going to mark them up anyway. So you don't really need to see so far back.
Yeah, exactly. Take a look here. GJ 30-minute. Entered when it crossed the low of the previous candle. Okay. Nice. So you took the initial breakdown. That's beautiful. See, the 30-minute is making lower highs and lower lows. So if someone's still in this trade and you're looking to trail your stops, you're trailing your stops above the 30-minute candles because now you're expecting the 30-minute candles to continue making, lower highs and lower lows. So should continue going. Boom. So this could be our potential target. All right, 1 hour close bearish. I'm looking to sell when it breaks the previous candle momentum on gold. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, it needs to break below 1703 for gold to continue going bearish in this area right here. See now, US 30, this candle has broken the low of the previous candle. Now in my mind, I'm taking a sell on US 30 because now I'm expecting it to continue going bearish.
Where would you go? Your stops above the previous still.
Yeah, stops are going to be around here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm keeping my stops here, like above this current candle. Keeping room for like the spread too. You know.
Yeah, I'll see.
Actually, I'll keep it above the previous 30-minute candle. Because the last time I did it, the candle retraced all the way up.
It did jump a bit, didn't it?
Yeah. What's this? We have an arrow coming down on gold 4-hour. Perfect. Makes sense. No labeling over there, but makes sense. 4-hour bearish, 1-hour bearish, 30-minute bearish, and broke the low. 15-minute might need to retest. See now since price is falling, now you can't take sells because it's falling already. It already fell a lot. You know, then you would have figured out that, okay, how could I have entered somewhere over here? That's what you're looking at that point. You know, if you look left, this was a support on the 30-minute there as well. So you're looking at the fact, how could you have entered right over here? Because now since price is falling, you're waiting for price to continue falling and then retrace to create a resistance and then continue moving down. So that's what you're kind of looking for. Let's see here. GJ 1 hour. Oh, nice. Perfect. I took this buy after 1 hour close bullish. Oh, yeah, the 1 hour didn't even close with a big enough wick up there. Plus also you should have. I think, okay, so if you got this trade, I think you should be looking at the smaller time frames to see how could you have minimized your loss. So let's say someone took a buy around, you know, like if this 1 hour candle closed bullish, right? Let's take a look at that. If 1 hour candle closed bullish and you're like, okay, I'm going to take a buy once this candle starts retracing, and then I'm going to expect that candle to continue moving bullish. You're like, okay, perfect. So you can take a buy. Let's say you took a buy at 132.740, right? 132.740 is your buy. So let's put an arrow here. 132.740. Perfect. Let's say you took a buy here. Now, going to the 15-minute chart, when you see that, oh, okay, if I'm in a buy, right? If I'm in a buy over here, and the 15-minute candle is closing bearish below the support, maybe it'll make sense for me to close 50%, or maybe it'll make sense for me to maybe close some percentage of the position because now candles are moving bearish. Right, and if you're like, okay, no, I want to keep them open because I want to be stubborn and whatnot, you're like, okay, keep it open. You go to 30 minutes. Now, when the 30-minute closes bearish, at least at this point, you gotta say, hey, man, listen, I need to maybe protect something. You know, if prices, if the 30-minute is closing bearish below a resistance, it makes logical sense that it should continue moving down, right? But if you're still being stubborn, at least secure something, you know, like close, take some risk off. So, I mean, you have to start implementing that in your trading. GJ price is still going to drop, question mark. Yeah, it seems like it, because the 15-minute here is respecting the high of the previous 15-minute. The 30-minute here is respecting the high of the previous 30-minute. So in the next 20 minutes, GJ, I mean, if this 30-minute keeps on making lower highs and lower lows, it should continue moving bearish down to our targets. Oh, looks like US 30 is also running as expected.
Mm-hmm. How far is that? Would that be? Could you put it at break even now? Is that far enough?
No, not really.
No.
I would want to wait for the 15-minute to close bearish.
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out how far it gone. I couldn't really see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see.
Someone was talking about call another trade. Well, there we go. Should be in profits now. Let me should continue. Let's see. Oh, what the hell is DJ daily? What? 134,652. Yeah, I don't even know which. You're in the past, my son. You're living in the past.
I don't get that.
I don't get that either. Yeah, but it's in the past. Price is not even at 134.6.
Yeah, it's a long time ago.
Long time. GJ 30 minutes. Should I better wait for 30 minutes to close below 132,500? I mean, this is risky. So at this point, what you're saying is that, okay, as long as that high gets respected, price should continue moving down. The idea is very, very solid. It's a very solid idea because you have the 15-minute candles closing now. Now, the only way, if you're in this trade, if you're in this trade over here, if you see the 15-minute candles closing bullish at this point, you're saying, okay, well, maybe you want to take some risk off because, the next one can continue going up, or if you see a 15-minute candle breaking the high of some 15-minute candle, then you're taking risk off. So taking risk off. Ooh, someone took 15 pips on GP CAD. Beautiful. Why don't you trade for a hedge fund with your 80% win rate? I don't know any hedge funds, and I don't want to go to an office. I don't want
retail, man.
I don't want a job. That's the thing. I escaped that life.
I was going to say, can you imagine having to put a shirt on and go to work every single day again?
Yeah. Oh, Raja worked every single day. He used to work 90 hours a week. He started trading for maybe, let's say, 20 hours a week. Now he's back at the 90 hours a week.
Imagine.
Yeah. No, man, I'm okay. I'm 30. You know what, Chris? Yesterday I had to Google how old I was.
When you get old, dude, you have to start doing that.
Yeah. Because I was trying to fill some forms out, and I'm like, wait, am I 31 or 32? I started counting, and turned out I'm turning 33.
Yeah, I forget on purpose.
Yeah.
It's demoralizing.
Yeah. When measuring for an entry, what range of stop loss and TP are you looking to say? It's not about the stops and TPs. It's about levels. It's about at which level is going to be your stop loss. So when I took this entry over here, my stop loss, I measured my stop loss was like 10 pips. It was above the 15-minute candle. So it's not like it's going to be 10, 15, 20. It has to be above a certain level. So once this 15-minute candle started breaking the low, then I was very confident that, okay, my stop is not going to get hit because now the area is respecting the support. So because if price is going to continue down, then candles are going to make lower highs and lower lows, right? So that's why my stop was above the previous candle's high. Because if there was a candle that broke this high over here, then for price to continue down, the probability had to be really low, right? Because it broke the high. So then there was a higher chance for price to make higher highs and higher lows to continue up. Let's take a look at this here. Ooh, nice. First TP because of Powerly Wick. Beautiful. It's a nice one. See the 15-minute close bullish over here. The 30-minute is still open. So now you're expecting this 15-minute to respect the previous 15-minute highs and continue moving bearish, right? So that's what you're expecting over here. Because if this 50, if you're in a trade somewhere in this area over here, then you're kind of saying that, okay, well, if this 15 minute starts breaking the high over here, then I might want to close some percentage of the positions, because ultimately your stop is above the 30-minute candle. You know, at 132, let's say 132,670. So 132,670 is right over here. So if price starts breaking the highs on the 15 minute, maybe over here or over here, then you're taking some risk off of the position. So that's how I keep my losses small, you know, because I take some risk off. I press close half on my magic keys right here. I press close half, and it just takes 50% automatically. Done. I don't have to move my mouse or anything like that. It's just click. Is trading more profitable than trading stocks and EFT futures? Is Forex more profitable? Yeah, I think there are a lot of, I personally know people who make way more than me in stocks and EFTs. You know, so it depends what's your comfort level and what do you know more.
Yeah, it's all down to risk and stuff, isn't it, as well? You know, what you're happy doing.
Yeah,
Also, it depends how good you are, right?
Yeah,
That's kind of an important factor.
yeah, so that's important. See, now it's breaking the high over here on the 15-minute candle. So this is where you're kind of thinking, okay, well, do I want to like secure something, or do I want to wait for this 15-minute to break? Because from over here, from 620, the high of this bearish 15-minute candle, all the way up to your stop at like 670, that's like 5 pips difference. You know, so if you have a one lot, that's $50. So if you close 50% here, now you're losing less. So something to keep in mind. Can I get feedback on my chart? Let's see this here. Would you start taking out percentage of the runner as 15-minute, 30-minute kind of start closing off the direction, or just do that period run? I would mainly look at if the 30-minute is closing bullish, or if the 15-minute starts breaking the high of the previous 15 minutes. Like if 15 minutes starts breaking the highs and closes above the previous highs, then I'm going to start taking positions off. You know, because if it starts breaking the highs and closes above the highs, then there's a higher chance that the next 15 minute can continue moving bullish and eventually hit my stop loss. You know, so the whole idea about trading is to conserve your risk. You need to make sure you're really watching your risk, you're minimizing your stops. You know, I think that's the whole idea about risk and I think trading, because the only thing you can control is how much you will lose, right? Like you can't control the outcome. We can't control this candle here. I mean, candle's just gonna form based on what it's gonna do. Let's take a look over here. What's this? USD CAD 30-minute. I'm planning a buy. It's too messy. Where would it be? Do confirmation to buy. I think a better confirmation on USD CAD. Let's take a look here. Ooh, US 30 pulled up its pants. Seems like. Let's take a look at USD CAD. 4 hour. For a previous 4 hour was bearish. This one is forming here. Seems like it's at a 1 hour support at this level. Let's take a look at the 30-minute. 30-minute is about to close in 10 minutes. I think a break above these 30-minute highs would be a better idea, but then again, you have this messy range over there. Take a look at the daily. Daily went bullish 4 hours like this. Yeah, I think your best bet would be for buys above, that 1.41140. But then again, it gets too risky because you have this resistance here at this level 1.41200, and you have another one at 1.41370, which is from here to here. It's like 10 pips. Yeah, you could probably squeeze some pips out of it. But then essentially you're expecting the 4 hour to continue going bullish. Oh, someone donated $10. Perfect. Perfect. I can buy samosas today.
Some muscle right there. That was
Yeah. See, now at this point, now you're looking to take some risk off because now it's breaking the high of the previous 15 minutes. Take a look. USDJPY, 50% resistance level 1, support level 2. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. It's too zoomed out. I can't see anything, but looks good. Let's take a look at this. Range 20 pips. Yeah, see, this analysis is so much better than that analysis, the previous one. So much better. You have a range on the 30-minute. If we break above 106,890, there's a high chance price to continue up. If we break below, price can continue down. This is perfect. Perfect,
Yeah, I like
perfect.
that. Nice outlook.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing so far happening today. Tomorrow also looks kind of pleasant. Some CAD news, some USD news.
Busy Thursday for pound.
Yeah,
Real busy on Thursday.
rates. God damn. It's gonna be interesting. And then we got NFP. Holy shit. They are expecting
Whoa.
21 million.
Yo.
Whoa! This is interesting, man.
I didn't even look at that today.
21 million jobs.
What was it last time? I can't remember.
I think it's going to be roughly in the range of 25.
Jeez.
Man, look at this unemployment. Employment change 5 million. What does ADP say here? ADP is saying less, whatever.
If I had to bet on that, it's gonna be around 22.
Jesus, man, this is crazy.
Yeah, I think it's going to be like 25, man.
Yeah, definitely it's gonna be more than the 21.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, if they're expecting really bad numbers, then it should be priced in, right? And gold should continue moving bullish.
I was just about to say that the market's not going to react to it because it's going to be priced in.
Yeah, because it's daily tapped into 1685, that big support. Then I guess we should see a break above 1736 finally. Wow, it's crazy. I'm shocked. With a sell stop at 132.515, 132.515 NTP would be wise to take. Sell stop 132.515. Yeah, that would be better. 132.515, because then you would expect price to continue through that area and to continue down to 132.400. That'll be better. Not at 335. I wouldn't say 335 because 335 is at the very, very bottom of this range. So you got to be conservative with your take profit, because as I talked about earlier, this is an entire zone where price can come into. So we don't know whether it's gonna tap over here and retrace, or it's going to come down towards 450, 400, 350, or whatever. You just got to be conservative with your take profits. People in the YouTube chat are about to file for unemployment. Man, don't do that. Don't add to that number.
That number's huge. That's madness. I didn't look at. I should have looked at that this morning. That would have been a good discussion point. That's huge.
21 million. It has never been this low. Never ever has been 21
It's
million.
pretty impressive. Well, it's not impressive. It's
It's pretty
it's
impressive.
scary. No, I mean, it's scary, right?
This is scary, yeah.
Yeah.
Look, not even in 009.
Yeah, impressive was the wrong word.
Pretty impressive. Oh, you got in an accident. That's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive accident.
No, I never meant like it's bad though. Like overall, it's it's madness to see.
Yeah. Unemployment claims in 2008. 37 million. More than 10 times. Oh yeah, it was 37 million in 2008.
Yeah, it's for the year though, right?
Yeah, I think this is the average of those months.
Oh, okay.
This is the average of those bad months, like from August till December.
Yeah, it's the entire year.
Yeah,
No, that's madness.
unemployment shot up quickly. Yeah, so this is just nuts. So yeah, man, this is like a market crash. Oh wow. Look at this GJC. Now, if you would have secured, you would have taken risk off over here, and now your stress is less because now you're losing less than you anticipated. So it's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty deep number. US 30 is also coming back up. Man, US 30 is pretty hard to trade. It's not easy.
10 weeks are big, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you looked at it? Have you looked at specific times of day yet? Or have you got that in depth into it yet?
No,
No.
not yet. I think there's more volume in when the NYC opens.
Yeah.
The problem with US 30 is the stop loss. You cannot use 20 or 30 pip stop loss. Must be 50 and more. Basically, the last 15-minute candle moves 42 pips.
Oh, and do you use it you play it on the low time frames?
Lower time frames, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I look at the higher time frames to see the basically
Levels, yeah.
the setups I'm looking for, and then I enter on based on the 5 and 1 minute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I see.
And good thing about the Home Jones US 30 is that they respect levels really good. So if you aim for a good setup, maybe in 15-30 minutes you're gonna be like 200 pips in profit.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, but you got those sniper entries. Other than that, man, you're gonna suffer. Two losses, two straight losses on Dow Jones, you'll be like 100 pips.
Yeah, you need a week off.
Yeah. So this is scary.
Oh, nice. The withdrawal came in from Vantage FX pretty quick.
More samosas.
Congratulations, mate.
More samosas.
Samosas coming out.
Taco Tuesday.
Yeah. My last withdrawal took like 4 days. I think it was a big one too. It took 4 days. This one took like 2 days.
What you do, wire?
Yeah, bank wire.
Okay.
I always do bank wire.
Just in time for Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah. Like did a withdrawal to PayPal once, man. PayPal took 2%. And I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, PayPal take a lot of money.
Yeah, then I was like,
Yeah,
never
man.
again.
Brokers need to start coming with Cash App, man.
Cash App.
Trust. That's gonna be a blessing.
Alright, what's this chart here? Let's take a look. GJ, 1 hour bias bearish, wait for the break and create resistance. Alright, so let's look at the 30-minute. The 30-minute previous one closed bullish, decreases the chances of this current candle to go bullish. If you're looking for sells, you're probably expecting the 15-minute to turn bearish here for the potential to continue down, because if it's going to break below 132.5, let's say like a nice even number 520, if it's going to break below 520, then that push is going to come through the New York Open push, which is going to happen in 30 minutes. So first you need to wait for the candle to flip bearish now, and then you would hope for the NY Open to push it further bearish. Alright, what's this? AUD New Zealand. I don't think you should be trading AUD New Zealand in a session when they are closed. It just doesn't make any sense. It defies all logic. Let's take a look at this chart. Ooh, gold 15-minute. Price stepping up and breaking highs. Entry after price hit. Oh, very nice. You're expecting price to continue moving to 1710. Looks good. We're almost up there now. Oh, this is the daily chart. Take a look at it. Yeah. Almost up to 1710. Should head up there. Respects this support. You have a clean candle here too, and the next resistance is right here. So it makes sense. $50 pip range. You know, surprisingly, gold spreads are back to normal now. I mean, they're not as small as they were before, but they're like 3 pips, 4 pips.
Yeah, mine was this morning between 2 and 4, basically. That's not too bad. It did spike every so often, but it remained most of the time around 3, which is not too bad.
Can you please check my chart? Yes. Yes, I can. Let's take a look here. Euro AUD, a retest of breakout, waiting for bearish candle to form and break previous. This looks good because the 30-minute closed bearish. It formed kind of like a resistance. You're expecting, so price came down, broke below the support, made a low, went up. So you're kind of like selling at this resistance, expecting price to continue down. So it makes perfect sense. Your stop is there, so it's perfect. If price starts to go against you, you should be happy you executed on a nice trade. Because if this happens on GJ, I'd be taking this same setup on GPJPY. So even if you see your setup and if it's a loss, that's still okay. because like you're executing on your plan. I mean, if you look on the 15-minute here, I sold somewhere here. If this will happen, if this is going to happen 10,000 times, I'm executing on this 10,000 times, because I know 8,000 times I'm going to win and 2,000 times I'm going to lose. So I'm taking those odds. Look here. What's this? This is GP CAD. Ooh. Chinese indicator saying the pound is weak and CAD is strong, waiting for price to make lower lows. Ooh, man, this is
Late, man.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Pretty tricky. Oh, US 30 hit my stop loss in my head. Oh,
So I don't know if you could have moved the break even if that distance coming down was enough. What I said earlier, maybe. I'm not sure.
How many pips is that?
That's what I was thinking. The way down was a good, probably 8, 10. What?
no, it's like 2, 3,
Oh,
30.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, 30
Yeah.
points.
Yeah,
I guess when this candle closed bullish on the 15-minute, could have just closed 50%.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but basically go to the lower time frames. Go to 5 minutes. I know you don't like 5 minutes because it's a lot
Yeah,
of
I don't look at 5 minutes.
yeah. But basically the only way to trade Dow Jones if you don't want to raise more than 50 pips, basically.
Mhm.
Yeah, this moved like 30, 40 points. This is what I was looking at coming down till here.
Yeah, no.
Oh wow, look at that. GTA went all the way up. Ooh, someone took buys. Where do you look up the Chinese indicator? Well, you just gotta Google that, right? Let's try Googling it. Oh, yeah, it doesn't work. Yeah, this is what it is. It's the currency strength meter.
I think we made that name up, right?
Yeah. Yeah, see, so as I was saying, for it to continue bearish, you would need the 15-minute to close bearish, but it didn't close bearish, it went bullish. So this is where managing your risk, it comes in handy. Because you're really managing risk now.
Nice to see resistance form here, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, technically, you didn't really put in a new low. So that'd be a no trade.
Experience on setting and forgetting trades. Yes, just take the trade and just forget about it. Ooh, here's another analysis coming in. For USD CAD sells. Yeah, it seems like USD CAD is ranging there. The chart, which was sent earlier, now it's starting to break the support. Looking to enter once price breaks support. Low of the wick to the left creates lower highs, lower lows. Yeah, makes sense. TP next zone here. I think another good TP could be, like somewhere over here. Looking at this area here to the left. And then potentially come down further here. Let's take a look here. This is, if candle breaks above the resistance, I think it's okay. What do you say? Yeah, I think it's okay. if you see a candle breaking above. The thing is, you have New York Open coming up here pretty soon, so maybe that's going to push some volume in, and we'll see what happens. Because if price on GPJPY now starts closing above, let's say 132,800, then there's a very high chance this move down was a fake out. Looking left, it was a support here as well, and then we may continue up to 133,100. So this is where you start shifting your bias based on where price is closing, where it's going, and stuff like that. Oh, nice one. Someone actually executed on that 30 minute. Beautiful. Simon Svensson. Very nice. So you saw support forming, candle closing bullish. You saw this little range where pricing come into, and yeah, perfect. Executed on it.
Confident trade.
Did you notice the correlation between US30 and GJ? Yeah, I'm kind of looking at it right now because they both came down and starting to go up. But I don't think there's any correlation with GJ. I think it's coincidence. Because US30 is based on the Dow, the like the US companies, and GJ is based on the pound. I think it's just coincidence. Oh, nice. You trade both. Yeah, it's pretty good. I haven't looked at it that way. I haven't looked at US30 long enough to come to that correlation. But it does seem like, price came down, going up. Even on US30, price came down, going up. So yeah, I guess I'll have to look into more detail. I haven't really done much investigation on how US30 moves. Mind taking a look at my USD ZAR. Oh, wrong chart. Oh, pound has high correlation with indexes. Interesting. Never knew that. That's an interesting thing to maybe focus on. Because I did see the market structures, the kind of like similar, almost similar market structures, but never really looked really in depth. So let's see. So I mainly focus on the 4-hour direction where it's heading, and then I focus on what information I see on the 30-minute or the 15-minute to execute a trade. See, the 1 hour now is breaking the high of the previous 1 hour candle, so it should. Now the selling bias, it's becoming low and low. It's becoming very less right now. Would you say that even numbers as 132,500 being something keeping in mind as to how big the institutions? Yeah, I think this area was pretty strong, 132,500. It's also like psychological level 132,500. So it basically, once this 30-minute closed bullish, it decreased the chances of price to continue down here. Because if you remember, when this kind of closed bullish, someone mentioned that they'll have a stop loss, sell stop at like 132,515. In order, if price breaks the support, it should continue moving bearish. Oh, it's still the wrong chart, Alec. Alec, listen. If you copy this code here, I won't be able to open it because only you can access this because you're logged into your account. You need to go to camera and then you need to copy this link over here. Yeah. Take a look here. USBs are previous 4-hour candle closed bearish, engulfing 2.5 lot sells closing at BP1 sell zone. Oh, so you look for price to create some sort of a resistance to continue down. This makes sense. I'd agree with that. Well, seems like GJ is now closing back above 132.750, making this move down a fake out. So now you're just following price. You're following candles, you're looking at what candles are doing, how they're printing. So this is printing bullish. You have New York Open coming in like 12 minutes. So if this candle stays above 132.800, there's a very high chance that New York Open could push this, continue up towards 133, 150, and so on and so forth. What about gold? Frank, you need to post a chart. You need to post your chart with your analysis, with your breakdown, how you see stuff, and then we're going to go over that chart and we'll see if that makes sense or not. That's the best way to learn, because if I open gold and if I start plotting the way I see things, that's not going to help anyone. That helps no one. Because the whole point of these webinars, the whole point of you being in Zoom sessions and this and that is like when people share charts, we're able to open these charts here and then we're able to discuss your ideas, and then that mainly helps you a lot. I think that's how I progressed a lot too, because when we were in a group, I would just share my charts. Whatever it was, I would just share my charts, I'd get feedback, and then I got better and better and better. So at the same time, I never worried about, oh man, maybe my chart is not good enough, so I shouldn't post it. It was never like that. It was like, hey, I have to post it. For me to get better, I have to show my chart. Why didn't you take a buy on GJ? Because I already took a sell, and it's a Monday, so I don't want to, take a lot of trades on a Monday. What's this? Breakout above buys and breakout below sells. Yes, makes sense. this makes sense on your USD. It's ranging now. Send when price breaks this resistance zone to the downside. Yeah, I think it's the same chart. But gold should continue bullish. That's what I see. Hey man, be nice. I'm new. Okay, let's take a look here. We have a new person, a new member joining. So let's take a look. Look for sell opportunities when price reaches this key level. Yes. So now the thing is, sell can happen around here and can happen around here too. So you need to look at time frames. You need to look at the 1 hour or 30-minute to make sure that, okay, if it's really going to continue down. Have you taken a look at my chart? Well, if you send it, we will take a look at it. Glenn has raised his hand. I'm not sure if he wants to speak or what's going on here. Yes, hello.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Didn't know this was awesome. Yeah, Raj, I just wanted, I guess I could send a chart if needed, but for GCAD, a low was made, resistance being formed on the 15-minute. I see the situation a lot, but the 30-minute and 1 hour are going to close bullish. I just wanted to get your thoughts on if you would typically, execute here.
See, if it's going to come down, it should come down to one, like this area over here. Essentially, the next 30 minutes should break the low. Looking at it on the 1 hour perspective, 1 hour is closing bullish, but it's also closing below this support here. The 30-minute, the 15-minute is closing bearish. So, I mean, for aggressive, if you're being aggressive, you could take a sell based on the 15-minute, right? And then anticipate the support to break at 1.7500 down here. Or if you're being conservative, you're waiting for the 30-minute to break the previous low.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Yeah, but if you see a candle breaking the previous 30-minute low, then that would be a much safer trade to continue moving bearish.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, that's what I could see right now. No problem. Oh wow, G just continuing up over here. That was a fake out.
Well, like you said, when you're getting that wick error on that 4 it could reject at any point, right?
Yep. Just reversed.
Mm-hmm.
GJ 1 minute. Oh, nice. Yeah, once you saw candles closing bullish, the selling confirmations start to die off. Alright, let's take a look here. Break and buy on retest at the 30-minute, 15-minute chart. That makes sense. We're expecting it to continue bullish with this support form here. Can you show us how you mark up a range on the 1 hour real quick? I'm having a hard time looking. Yes, if you go to the 1 hour, you see that this was support here before at London session, and there was support here last week. And now price is breaking up over here, and now prices starts to continue going up. It should come up to at least 133 even, which is 15 pips away. If it has more juice, it should come up to 133, even like 133, 150, which is around 30 pips away right now. Let's take a look here. Gold, 30-minute high made, close above this level for a buy to fill the wick. Support create. I actually like this analysis on gold. I like this analysis. You wait for price to close above and then continue on towards to fill that wick up over there. Let's break above 1709, 1708. Man, I can't believe it. 21 million. This is going to go in the history books. 10 years down the road, some crazy people like us are going to do live streams and then they'll Google, oh, I wonder what the employment rate was back in Corona 10 years ago. And our live stream is going to come up. And they'll see, oh, wow, it was 21 million. God damn. They traded it? Wow, that'll be something. They'll hear Monty say, oh, that's impressive. Monty's gonna go down in the history book saying, oh, 21 million in employment. Oh, that's impressive. Will be retired fat cat. I think a lot of people I know, they can retire right now if they want to, but they choose not to. What's this? Not trade, buy from here. Yep, makes sense. So you basically now, when this is happening, you're basically looking at, man, people send me such zoomed out charts. This is the only time I'm zooming in this chart. So you're looking for the 30-minute to create a support and then continue bullish. That's what's happening here. Ooh, someone's looking at 133 as the TP. Perfect. I think there's a room to go up because now see the candle has closed. It closed above 132.800. Now there's a very high chance price may continue up towards 133.100 and 150 or create like a support here and then continue moving bullish. All right, let's take a look at this chart here. Oh, what's this? Candle currently would have two big stop loss, 25 too far, not enough range, buffer buys, wait for breakout, confirmation to buys into 132.95 and 133.17. Yep, looks good. This is good. So you're looking for buys above this area here based on the 1 hour chart. So based on the 1 hour, it looks much cleaner. Now you see, if you look on the 15 minute looks a little dirty. But if you look on the 1 hour, it looks much, much cleaner for it continue to go up. So if someone's taking aggressive entries over here, I guess you're placing your stops, I would say around this point, 132.700, because now you're not expecting price to continue back down below the support, because now you're expecting price to continue going up. Because if this was a strong support, if price broke below the support, then it had to respect that support and continue moving bearish. But now it closed back above this resistance, and now it's made support, so it should now continue moving bullish. That's what you're looking at. What's this? We have another chart here. Oh, nice target hit. Someone's target hit up there on gold. Oh, take care, Chris. Have fun. Chris is leaving us.
Yeah, man.
Your thoughts on GJ Daily? Let's take a look. Daily candle could possibly leave a wick, reject this whole area. Yes, that's true. That's kind of what we were looking at on the 4 hour there as well, because this is a this is a high liquidity zone where price might come down and just reject it. So looking at the daily, that also makes sense here, because now what we see on the smaller time frame is that we did come down and we closed above that potential support. Now it should have a high probability to continue moving bullish. Do you have a gold-plated toilet? Yes, it's actually, you go down the hall and make a right. It's to your right. Let's see here. You're in New Zealand. Oh, this actually looks pretty good. Thoughts on sells after 30-minute close? Yeah, this looks pretty good. Pretty good. I think you can also have a better opportunity to manage your risk here as well. You have this wick fill and then you have this range to go down. Makes sense. Which would you say holds stronger precedent over the other for trend? I think if you're looking at the high time frames, you have to keep in mind how the small time frames are reacting to. Because like a lot of times you're gonna have smaller time frames, they will tell you, because here's the thing, it also depends what your trading plan is. My trading plan is to execute and to secure 10 to 15 pips. That's my personal trading plan, and that's what I focus on every day when I come on the charts. It doesn't matter if let's say the daily is bearish, which daily was bearish this morning, so I executed on the sell. But let's say if I was late, let's say if I was late for the day, and if I came to the charts and I saw this opportunity, I would look at daily and I would say, well, daily is trending down, so it doesn't make sense for me to take a sell, because what I see on the smaller time frames is that candles are respecting they're respecting levels, because you had a support over here. This was support, support, support. This candle came down. This candle had to do a retest to continue down, but it didn't. It closed back above this resistance turned support now for maybe an opportunity to maybe make a support again and continue moving up. So that's something that you can actively start to look at if you've missed a sell. So it doesn't matter if the high time frame is bearish or bullish. It matters what you're looking in the session. In the session here, currently what we see is that the 1 hour candle, it broke the high of the previous 1 hour candle. It closed above it. It broke down and closed above. So now there's a high probability for price to continue moving bullish. Unless you see some bearish candles forming, somewhere over here to continue moving bearish. But if that doesn't happen, you're still focused on that, okay, you know what, it's potential buy, I'm going to look for buys, I'm going to stay in buys, but at the same time, you're going to know where your stop is going to be. That's really, really important. Let's take a look here. GPCAD, Rick's showing price struggling to break this resistance. That's correct. Support, man, your zones are accurate. They're very nice zones. Waiting for bearish candle to sell back to the low. That's perfect. See now on the 15-minute candle, 15-minute, now you're anticipating this 15-minute to go bearish. So I guess an aggressive entry could be here with the stop above the previous 15-minute candle, because now you're expecting, because if this closes bearish, then there's a higher chance the 30-minute is going to close bearish too. So that in turn gives you a much higher chance of this trade going bearish. So that's the difference between aggressive entries and conservative entries. Conservative entries is going to be once you see the 30-minute breaking the previous 30-minute candle low. Obviously, you're going to be much safer. But aggressive is going to be taking it based on the 15-minute as it's going down and as it's closing bearish. So things of that nature. This stuff is gold. Can't believe you're doing this for free. Yeah, I mean it's basically. I mean it's not. I think once you really understand how to behave in the markets, it really starts to become more logical. Like like everything you do in the charts now, everything what Monty does or Kervin does or Kevon or Mac or whoever like Ted does, like it's all logic. It's all based on logic. If candles are going bullish, logically it makes sense to look for buys. If candles are going bearish, logically it makes sense for look for sells. If candles are breaking highs of the previous candles, then logically it makes sense to look for buys as well. If candles start breaking the lows, then it makes sense to look for sells. So it's all based on logic. Your emotions come into play. Let's say you take a sell. Let's say you took a sell here and candles breaks the high. Logic dictates you should exit the trade or you should manage the risk. But emotions dictate, oh no. Daily is bearish. We're gonna hold these sells. This is gonna come down. Someday it's gonna come down. One way or the other, it's gonna go down. If we run out of margin, no problem. We're gonna add more money. That's when emotions start coming in. But when you start looking at things from a very like logical perspective, you're like, okay, it's breaking the high. I should exit the trade. This was probably not the trade for me to take. Let's just go back and see that, okay, where were we wrong? How could we have taken the correct trade? If for some reason this kind of starts breaking below 132.750, then you could say, okay, you know what, now we might start coming down. But if it stays above 132.750, then there's a very slight chance that it's going to come down, and there's a very, very high chance it's going to start continuing going up. So I think the only reason I do the live streams for free is to create like a new wave. We're just creating a new wave. This is becoming like normal now. When I started trading, this wasn't normal. It wasn't normal that someone's gonna come on the live stream and break down candles and put their trades on, even if it's not a MetaTrader, but still put the ideas on. It wasn't normal. Now it's becoming normal. Now when people start to look at gurus, they're like, well, you don't do live stream. Now that's kind of like expected. Like we're raising the expectations. I think that's the easiest way to put it. We're raising the expectations. Oh wow, gold is continuing bullish over here. Yeah, should that 1 hour, if it breaks above 1709, it's gonna go bullish. Pretty sure if Ted was here, I could just hear Ted in my head. Yeah, gold should continue up to 1712, 1713.
Yeah.
Right? That's what Ted would say.
Yeah, I think so.
Ted would come on. Yeah, I've been in gold buys. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we went range for an hour, but this will continue. Yeah. Should continue.
Yeah.
Other than we got some sort of pricing prior NFP.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. I don't want to even think about NFP, man. Fuck, it's gonna be a mess.
Did you get my Dono and Can? You can use the same thing on stocks. I have no idea what Dono and Can is. Where's Ted? He still works for you. No, Ted is fired today. We do an attendance. Someone's missing, we fire him. Can you say a boot? Oot in a boot? We're just going oot in a boot now in Canada. Oh wow, look at that. Use GPCAD is running now. Should continue down. I think USD CAD is also dropping. Happy birthday. No, my birthday is on 20th May. How is Raja drawing so fast? I took art classes in school. Kind of helps. Oh, it looks like a lot of like-minded people were born on 20th May. Perfect. You see GPCAD breaking 0.75? Yes, it's going to break it. You see the 30-minute has broken the lower here as well, so it should continue moving down.
So my plan was to execute on the break of this 1 hour low.
Hmm?
I didn't think it would push this fast. So I guess my stop loss would be above the current 15-minute. I don't like it any higher.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Exactly. Do you stream every day? I just tuned in for the first time. Yes. It says in the description, streams are hosted 6:30 Monday to Friday. So I guess that means every day. Do you use any signal generating programs? No. Yes, my brain. My brain generates its own signals. This morning had a pretty good sell. Took a sell like this, moved down. I took from TJ. And then it kind of went up. I'm in this trade. Can you take a look? Let's take a look here. So this is AUD USD buys. You took the buy when the 30-minute broke the high over there. You're expecting price to continue moving bullish. You got clean traffic. Actually, this is some problems over here. You have a resistance up over here, and then you have a support over here. So it might cause some issues in this area. Ooh, I think if people took aggressive entries on GPCAD, it would have been a very nice trade. 20 pips so far. Oh, still going. How do we know which pair you are taking? I already took GJ. I normally take my trades between 6 a.m. and 8:30 a.m. Within these 2 hours, I take my trades normally. So this is the move I took from 132 700-ish down to 600-ish. and then it kind of reversed. I guess it should create some sort of a support in this area and then continue moving bullish. Is that when London opens? No, I think you need to go to babychips.com and really see. You want us to send our charts, but you don't even look at them. No, I don't want anyone to send me charts. If someone sends charts, I look at them. When someone doesn't send charts, I don't complain at all. Let's be realistic. And the number one thing is you should know how to send charts too. Alright, let's take a look at this chart. GU, wait for support to form around this area. I think this is the same situation happening on GJ as well. You know, like price made a support over here, support, breakdown. This should have done a retest to continue down, but it closed above the support. If it starts creating support here, you can have a very good opportunity to continue moving up. So instead of taking this, I think what is this? It should be resistance because it doesn't make any sense. You know, so if you see support forming here, I think, yeah, it could be a very good trade heading up.
Gold is finessing people, man. Come on.
Yeah. it's not closing above that area at all.
No.
30 minutes just retrace.
It's in range.
The world's largest trading academy, and I have a question for you. Do you think you can become a successful trader? It's the largest trading academy, and I
What's this? Greetings from Milton, Ontario. Oh, greetings. I have some memories in Milton, Ontario. GU 15 minute. Wait for price to retest to buy. Yes, that's excellent. That's kind of like the same things that happening on GJ here. It's really trying to push up. And GJ is pushing down. The reason why GJ, the pound pairs are pushing up, well, GJ and GU, because the pound is strong. And the reason why GP CAD is pushing down, because CAD is strong. CAD is stronger than the pound. That's why, like, CAD has more influence on GP CAD. That's why it's being moved by CAD more. Someone's wondering. Hey man, when you draw support resistance lines, do you use the wicks, higher lows, or I don't draw lines, I draw zones. So you can see them right here. They're drawn right here. Alright, what's this chart? Ooh, S&P 500 buys. Beautiful. Went a little bit of a drawdown, didn't hit stop loss. You're in profits now. Oh wow, GP CAD is still going down. Excellent trade call over here.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like a 27, 28 pip candle. Do you believe in chart patterns? Yes. I believe chart patterns are formed due to majority of people losing their markets. Because the reason why they say that chart patterns happen over and over again is because people make the same mistakes over and over again in the markets, and that's why chart patterns happen. Whenever you see a profitable chart pattern happening, that's because some trader is dying in the markets. You know, so that's the opportunity to take what they're losing. Very cruel world, man, the markets. We got the Ichimoku dust cloud here coming up towards the bottom of these candles on GP New Zealand, trying to push them up. These candles need to push above the dust cloud and maybe go into these two blue and red lines. I mean, oh, you got the fibs here too. God damn.
Oh, God damn it.
You got a lot of stuff going on, man.
That's a serial killer here.
Yeah, that's some serious analysis. Oh wow, GP CAD is still going.
Come on, JP Cat.
Wow.
Good.
Gold also dropped.
Yeah, it's a mess. I was waiting on gold to
Yeah.
break that resistance, 1711, and I was looking for 30 pips for
Yeah.
weekly fill, the week fill. But man, it's not going.
Yeah,
It's finessing.
finessing people here.
Yeah.
That's why I haven't traded gold since the spreads went up.
Yeah, but the spread right now is only 2 pips, so it's compared to 10 pips before.
Oh.
But no, it's not doing good. And Gigi wants to continue pushing. This 30-minute candle is gonna close beautiful.
GJ, yeah.
Yeah.
How do you determine where the support resistance zones go? I think you need to go study babypips.com, because honestly, that's what I studied to figure out where support resistance zones should be. Man, some people take it as offensive when I tell them go to babypips.com. But it's not offensive at all. I mean, it's a very good learning tool.
Yeah.
Babypips.com.
Honestly, fam, going to babypips.com is like going to kindergarten, but you're gonna learn the basics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Raja, don't you think GPCAD could mirror the clean traffic all the way to the left? I think so, but it's a long traffic. It's a long way to go. So even though you can have your stops over here, but then if you're in a sell and you're anticipating price to come all the way down here, now you have to make plans. You have to make plans that, okay, if you're expecting price to continue down below this wick over here to the left, like, where are you securing profits? How much profits you're already securing, and then letting the rest run all the way down? Because obviously, before it runs down there, it's going to have some sort of a pullback. It's going to retrace, then it's going to fall, it's going to retrace again, and then it's going to fall. So you're keeping those things in mind. So as price keeps moving, you're securing profits along the way. That's very important. So this was the 30-minute low we were talking about, where you should break, and it broke and came down 22 pips. Right there. Once that broke, oh, bearish. Boom. Alright, what's this? Oh, someone took GJ vibes. Traffic wasn't really clean. Yeah, I think stop is way too tight. Let's take a look on the 30-minute. 30-minute makes sense. The stop is below here. But I would still want price to create a support and then continue moving bullish on GPJPY. You could still make it work. I mean, based on the fact it's making higher highs and higher lows and did a fake out here. And since we're in a high volume time, during high volume, we all know that GJ is least likely to do a retest. Which means it's least likely to make like a support and then continue up. It's more likely to just keep on going up. Is this music from the 80s porn movie? No. It's basically YouTube library.
By the way, GG is moving, to be honest.
What it really takes to be successful versus what these social media pages and just people in general will tell you what it takes to be successful. So these days, what we see a lot with social media and just people in general is just the success.
I would like to see a retest on this previous 30-minute candle, failing to break, and then the body of the candle should close like this. Off to the races.
Oh.
This is the kind of candle I want to see on GG, but looks like it's gonna continue moving up. This retest is key to the 30-minute and failing to break the previous 30-minute candle.
Wow, gold fell 57 pips.
Yeah.
There's a lot of volume in gold, man.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So Raja, can I use this method in the stock market? I don't know. You can. I just don't know how stock market works.
Test it. See if it works.
Yeah. Back test it. But my advice to everyone is going to be that maybe make sure you don't go too hard on a Monday. Just take 1-2 trades, take it very low risk, don't risk a lot. Just stay calm, stay patient, because tomorrow's Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday, and you got those really high volatile days coming up. Would you guys say this is an average trading day? Anyone here can answer yes. It's a very average trading day. Nothing special happening. We have NFP coming up as well. So we're going to see what happens up till NFP.
Cole, do you get the gold sell? Okay.
Nope, no trades.
Oh, okay.
It's Monday. I was up at 4 in the morning anyways. I was working and then I went back to bed and I just woke up like about 30 minutes ago. So I got nothing.
you're a G, bro. That's what I'm saying, man. You're a G. I've been watching you for the past 6 weeks. Honestly, I'm gonna sign up to your course.
GP CAD has like a nice solid range going down. What's your thoughts on gold? I have no thoughts on gold. I don't trade gold anymore. What site can I paper trade on Forex? Well, the best way to paper trade is to grab a piece of paper. You see how squiggly this paper is? Because I've been paper trading US 30 on this paper. I just write down, and then I make notes, and then write down, what happened, and what I expected to happen. Did it make sense if I had taken the same trade on GJ or not, or some other pairs? And that's basically paper trade. So there's no site. You can do this. I use this paper to paper trade. Sense, right? Paper trade. Could you look at this and tell me what you think? All right. Most times people don't like the way I think, but let's take a look here. Oh, nice. GPNZD buys above 2.05838. Makes sense. To this area there, sells below this area to coming down to this area. This makes sense because you've identified the most recent support resistance. You've identified where price will go if it breaks resistance and if it breaks support. So it's pretty good. I would also say keep in mind this area over here too, right here. That area, because there was support formed here previously. Could form issues if you break above here and come up there. Hey, Uncle Raja, I have been really profitable since I started the live streams. Is trading this easy, or is there going to be difficult times? I think the only difficult times are going to come up when you take a loss. When you're following your plan, you see your setup forming, and things look really 100% good to go your way, and you take a loss. That's when that mentality of doubt comes in. Because once you take that loss, you're like, oh man, why did I take that loss? So you can basically do two things at that time. One thing is going to be, you can say, okay, like, you know what, maybe I'm going to take it as the probability of a loss, or second thing, you could take it as, no, you know what, I don't accept this loss and I'm going to fight it. So once you start fighting that loss, then you start revenge trading, you start over trading, you start risking more to make that loss back. So, and the third thing you can do is that you can say that, okay, I took a loss. Why did I take that loss? Was there something I missed at that point? Was there something I neglected? Was there something I didn't see that made sense? Because once trade is done, they say hindsight is 2020. And the reason they say that is because now you can look back at the chart and you can figure out that, okay, how could I have taken the right trade, or how could I have taken the winning trade? And that's going to really help you. Would you change brokers based off 1 point difference on spreads for the major pair you trade? No bias to broker. I don't know. If you want to do that, go ahead. But I don't really care if the spread changes by 1 point or 2 points. It is what it is. You don't change banks because one bank's service fee is maybe like 10 cents higher than the other banks. I mean, just those questions, man. Learn to trade profitably first and then think about brokerage. Let's put it that way. Oh, nice trade. Oh, someone took this buy. UJ. Could you have a look at my USD CAD prediction? Oh, if you send a chart, we'll take a look at it. GJ looks like it's reacting to news of Japan's PM stating they're extending the emergency to, wow, 31st May. I think in Canada they're doing the same too. I think, well, they're opening some some essential businesses here. Non-essential businesses like golf courses are starting to open. They were talking about hair salons, and, like small stuff like that. Not malls though. It's gonna take some time to open malls.
Man, hair salons is a must. We need to open hair salons. Trust.
Yeah. Surprisingly, we had a service call yesterday for our AC. It wasn't working, and the guy came inside, no mask, no gloves. We shook hands, and he did his stuff. And yeah, he had water. I gave him some juice, and then
Nice.
as he was leaving, I could see the hesitation in him when I extended my hand to shake his hand. I saw the hesitation. Now I'm like, come on, man. He's like, okay, whatever. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man.
He already doesn't have any mask on anyways. He already, so what's the difference?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys were full margin on that.
Yeah, we went full margin on social distancing.
Yeah.
Can you look at my GJ stop loss? Let's take a look. Stop loss too tight. Yes, it's too tight. See, now you're approaching this area on GJ, where you might face some issues, right? Like this issue right over here. You see this big move happen here on GJ. This move happened now. So the reason why I said like you could now wait for a support to be formed, and then with volume you can expect this area to break and then go further up if they start forming supports. Do you have a target in mind for the runners you leave? No, there's basically no target in mind. It's just like what I can get is what I can get, and that's what I get. Are you done for the day? Yes. I was done for the day an hour and a half ago. Yeah, an hour and a half ago. So like 3 30-minute candles ago, I was done for the day. Like 1, 2, and 3. Would you consider your trading style reactive or predictive? I would say predictive and anticipative. Like I'm always anticipating candles to do certain things, like if let's say I took a sell on the 15-minute right over here in the morning, and then I anticipated the next candles to continue down over here. That's what my anticipation was. It's same thing like when you're backtesting. I'm backtesting US30. So when I'm backtesting US30, in my mind, I'm anticipating candles to do certain things. If they don't do certain things, then I'm like, yeah, it doesn't really work. So it's all based on anticipating what you see, where your stops are going to be, how much you're risking, and stuff like that. What's your bias on SPF 500? I don't look at that. What's this? GPAUD, resistance form, entered sell when this candle opened, small lot size on Monday. Yeah, looks good. Took profits. That's good. Oh wow, this thing is dropping now. Coming down to the support. Kevon, I think you can mute yourself if there's issues. Well, I would say this would be a nice entry in GPCAD, but at the same time, I'd say it's pretty risky too. Because your entry was when we were talking about GPCAD somewhere over here at 1.7500, and even when when we're talking about taking GPCAD entries around this area. How can I send my analysis so you can review it? I'm new. If you're new, I think you should be watching the description video, the video in the description if you are new. Man, come on. Come on, man. Buy now, GJ, question mark. Well, you have to wait for some sort of a candle to close in your direction before you can take a buy. Getting the retest on the 15-minute for a buy. However, the 4-hour looks like it's going to flip. Which would you take? I would wait for candles to close bullish at this level, because if you can see candles closing bullish at this level, then you can anticipate the next candle going up. Because if the 4-hour, if you have candles closing above this area, you know, this means now there's a higher chance for the next candles to close above this area as well, and that in turn will push the next 4-hour candle bullish. So it's very important to wait for candles to close bullish at this area. I know everyone wants to take a buy, but we don't know how deep the next candle is gonna, like, you know, make a wick, because candles closing bearish right now. So if you have candles, let's say you have candles closing bullish. Oh, this is the wrong one. I need my rectangle here. So let's say you have a candle closing bullish like this, then you can say, okay, well, candles closing bullish, at least my stop can be down over here. You know, then you know where your stop is going to be. But if you have a candle that keeps on, let's say the next candle drops like this, and you take a buy, you don't know where your stop is going to be. It's like very hard, because now you're expecting the next candles to maybe, like, you know, continue up or whatnot. You know, even if you have this scenario, at this case, you can also say, okay, you know what, maybe I'm going to have my stop down here and expect the next candle to go up. And maybe this move down could be the lower wick forming on the 4-hour candle, you know, to continue pushing up. So that's why it's really important to wait. Do you enter after two candle confirmation or does it depend? It mainly depends. If I see a realistically, traditionally, if I see a 30-minute candle closing bullish at this level, then I'm going to enter the trade because then I would expect the next 30-minute candle to continue moving bullish as well. Do patterns have some sort of confluence with price action, as in people have orders there, etc.? Not really. I've never really looked into it like that, if people have orders there or not, because we can't see orders. We just see how candles are forming. We only see, if candles is forming below a support, then there's a probability. Like, you have to look at charts in terms of probabilities. If prices are closing above supports, then what's the probability it's going to go down? Obviously, the probability is going to be very low. So it all depends on if you. That's why it's really important to post charts, because when you post charts, we can see like what you're thinking, what you're seeing. So that really helps you a lot. Because like I used to have those questions a lot too, like, oh, what if there are orders over there? What if like the levels are there? And without seeing or reading the thought process, it's really hard to answer some of these sort of open-ended questions, I'd say, because like like these are very subjective questions. So like it's very important to see like how you're plotting charts and stuff. It's 4 hours, about to close in 4 minutes. 4 hours closing. Oh wow, like a doji-ish candle. 1 hour also about to close. Wow, I really thought that GJ is going to close above, 132,750 and 132,800. But it looks like it's getting a little difficult over here. Getting a little demanding here, GJ. Plus my time is coming to leave as well in like, 10-15 minutes.
What are you watching, bro?
The two people fighting in Popeye's chicken. Hey, Raja, please help. All right. Let's take a look here. I have entered on 30-minute close bearish below support. Oh my God, man. This is a very common mistake. When people enter at the very bottom. Whenever price is falling down, it's making a low. You need price to retrace, and then you need price to create a resistance, and then you need to take a sell. You can't sell a low over here. Kind of like what happened here. Price came down, made a low, came up. We started talking about, okay, how, could be an aggressive entry to continue down to retest this low and then continue down to fill this wick here at the left. That's what happened. Now price made a low. When price makes a low, you wait for price to create resistance and then continue moving down. You don't sell at the bottom and you don't buy at the top. That's a
But
very...
Rob, but if
What?
he had a, like, for example, right? So if he, even with that trade, if he was predicting that price was going lower, he should have put his stop above that previous candle. Like that candle was forming to make the low. He should have put his stop right there, and then he would have managed his risk a lot better. So I think he was going for like a sell stop on that bearish candle, and that bullish candle ended up coming back. But he should have still had a stop above that bullish candle or wherever that bullish candle was started to form. So that way he will manage his trade a little bit better if that's what he was trying to go for.
Right. How the 30-minute close above the support here. For buys, you're looking for candles to close bullish and then continue moving up. See, the 1 hour closed bearish, but it closed above the same level as the candles here to the left. How much do you pay per trade? I don't know, just commissions. What's this? Euro USD, short entry after breaking this consolidation area at the 1 HR level. Yep, looks good. You're waiting for price to break below the support and then take a sell down to all the way down over here. Looks good. Good thing you have TP1, TP2, TP3. Oh, what's this? Chart on gold. Oh, wrong chart. Do you take any trades before the stream in the morning? Yes, sometimes. Since I'm awake early these days, so sometimes I take trades early in the morning. Alright, let's take a look at this chart here. This chart, USD CAD 30 minute. Price holding last week's support. If 30 minute closed bullish, it may be aggressive entry. I think a good entry is going to be above here to take buys because you have all this consolidation here to the left hand side, right here. So you want price to get out of this area and to continue moving up. Ooh, what's this? Looking for price to reject this area and for the bearish pressure to take sells. Interesting. Trying to take sells on gold at this area. Makes sense. Makes sense. You're expecting this previous 30-minute high to be respected and continue down. But gold has so much volume, sometimes it breaks the highs and then continues down. That's why I've been staying away from gold lately. Hey, this is my first time sending a chart. Can you please take a look? Let's take a look here. GP CAD. First target, second target. If support holds, wait for bullish confirmation to enter buys. That's good. You're waiting for a bullish confirmation to enter buys. And your targets are defined, so it could work out. Oh wow, that was a quick move on 33, 35 pips. On the current price for GJ, would it be wise to take a trade as the 15-minute candle starts breaking the previous candle high, or we have to wait for the candle to close? Well, first of all, there's only you, so we're not going to focus on yourself, right? If you're anticipating this 15-minute candle to break, so now this is what's happening, right? Price formed the support, price made a high above the support, and then it came down. It's breaking the high of the previous 15-minute candle. So as it starts to close bullish, the probability of it going up increases, right? But it's not a strong probability yet. Once you wait for the 30-minute to close bullish, now the probability of the next 30-minute candle to continue going bullish becomes even stronger. So now you start deciding the fact that, okay, if I'm going to execute on the 15-minute time frame, am I going to use a less risk position or a high risk position because the confirmations are low on the 15-minute time frame? But if you're looking at it based on the 30-minute time frame, then you're going to start to see that, okay, I waited for the higher time frame to close. Higher time frame meaning that time frame that's higher than 15-minute to close. Now, do I want to go on with my normal risk or what I want to do? So those are things that you need to decide based on risk. Like 15-minute versus a 30-minute. So something to keep in mind. But I do think with the volume coming in with the New York and the NYC Open, it should continue moving, pushing bullish. Let's see here. Oh, wrong chart. Take a look on the 4 hour here. 4 hour closed bullish. So based on what you just said, you would want the 30-minute to close like a good bullish candle to move up. Yes. Yes. When you're looking for trades, you're looking at very specific things. You know, so if I'm looking for buys, I'm looking for the 30-minute to close bullish so that I can take buys, you know, with no fear, because then I would know where my stop is going to be. But if I'm looking for sells, I'm looking for price to close below this area around, what's this price? 132,750. I'm looking for candles to close within this area so that there's a higher probability for price to continue down to test this low. You know, but if we're not closing below this area, then there's no trade. But if you see candles closing bullish within this area, then you could say that, okay, well, now support is being respected, and then there's a high chance for price to continue up to this high it made at 132,900, and then eventually with London close volume and the NYC open volume, you could expect price to continue on moving further. You know, which in turn will push the 4 hour bullish, since the previous 4 hour was also bullish. You know, so, and at the same time, what I also do think is that if the candles do come down and if they create wicks down here and they close above this area, I think those movements bearish are going to be lower wicks created on the 4 hour. If you look at the 4 hour, you know, I hope that makes sense. But it makes sense in my head. You know, so you're breaking down the overall 4 hour candle into small 30-minute and 15-minute candles. What's the difference between waiting the 30-minute to close versus 15-minute to close or the 1 hour to close? Yeah, I'm not going to go into that right now. It's Monday, and alright, I'm gonna head off over here. Hope everyone has a good day. The rest of the
Good
day.
one.
Yep, you too. Take care. Goodbye, everybody. We'll see you later. Hey, Raja, gonna head off early. Thanks tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow morning we shall see you again.